Alright, second episode. Talk to Ringo, now I'm down here talking to Sunny Smiles, and we'll go from here.
A silver tongue would help. Convincing Trudy that we had a good plan to win the fight would also help. I don't think give is in Chet's vocabulary. Even with the town at stake, he'd still... Easy Pete's pretty protective of his dynamite. You'd have to convince him you know a thing or two about explosives. Sure can. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your... Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can. Not in Good Springs now. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these. If the lock's too much for you to handle, reading through the magazine might give you the edge. You'll need those... Oh. I hunt geckos mostly. The meat's pretty good and I can always find a buyer for the house. I also help keep the town clear of rat scorpions and coyotes. Not many people live in Good Springs, so wild... Sure. Southeast of here is Prim. Can't miss it. Since it has the giant old roller coaster right in the middle of town. The NCR's gotten... If you follow the road north, you'll eventually hit Sloan and Quarry Junction. They mine rocks or something, but I heard they got troubles lately. I wouldn't head that direction if I were you, though. Got critters up there that don't take kindly to getting shot. The new California Republic. Bunch of settlers and soldiers coming in from the west. Fixing on me. They can be right pushy, but the roads are safer because of them, so I tend to let it go. Not that I got... Well, the wildlife for one thing. Rowdy They're protecting their own. Just happens to help us. They've been holding off this other group from the east, too. Got a funny name. Call themselves Caesar's Legion. Never seen them in these parts, so I couldn't tell you. I hear rumors, that's about it. Supposedly they keep slaves and they got some real nasty ways of killing folks. But maybe that's just something folks in the NCR cooked up to make themselves seem more useful here. Around here, mostly coyotes and geckos. The coyotes are pretty dangerous in large packs, but otherwise they're nothing to really worry about. The geckos aren't too tough, but they've got a nasty bite. I've heard about bigger, nastier versions out on the wasteland, but stick to the roads when you can, and steer clear of the hills north of Good Springs. The critters up there are big and poisonous. I'll be waiting.
What is it, brothers? No? What up? Hi. Come on. Oh, come here. I love yours.
Hello. So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang? It's a big risk, but I suppose... All the more reason for me to sit this one out. I'll be rooting for you. Feeling thirsty? I was planning on sitting this one out, but for some reason, I can't help. Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't round up some more members for this. While everyone does own a gun, we could stand to be a little better equipped. A general store Be careful.
Too dangerous. Gonna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Better to leave it buried. Uh-huh. Guess you know what you're doing. I'll go dig it up and get it ready. Bad.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. The way I heard it, I didn't think you'd be walking out. I've got plenty of supply. If you're hurting for caps, I've also got boxes of surplus ammo in the miscellaneous section. They're not great, but you get... Now just hold on. I never voted to take on the powder gangers. That's a 1,000 cap investment. You made your point. I can provide people with some leather armor and extra ammo. Sure hope it's worth it. And I'll be guarding the store while all this is going on. I have to put my business first. You and... It's all about quantity over quality. Trouble is, you'll be cleaning and fixing your gun a lot more than usual when you use those... If Ringo doesn't head out on his own, I think we should hand him over. Town... Don't mistake that for coward talk, though. We're a town of survivors. We'll fight...
My babies. Sorry about that, guys. I text back some stuff.
The leader was a New Vegas type. Typical city boy. He had a bunch of Great Khans with him, probably hired guns. The Great Khans normally stay in their own territory way up northwest, on account of them being enemies with the NCR. Twice. Both times I drank a lot of liquor and lost most of my caps at the card tables. In that order, now that I think about it. If you ever get to New Vegas, be sure to visit Gomorrah. It's the best casino in the city. You won't regret it. Word of advice, behave. Between the NCR military police and Mr. House's robots, you don't want to be causing trouble on the Strip. I'm afraid I don't know much myself. Mr. House has got his own casino, Lucky 38, but nobody goes in or out except his robot. The other casinos follow Mr. House's rules, so I guess that makes him the leader of New Vegas. As far as I know, nobody's ever laid eyes on the guy. I think that robot who pulled you out of the dirt belongs to Mr. House. If Mr. House is looking after you, it's gotta be a good thing, right?
Watch out, Fatty Roo. It's not time yet. No, it's not time yet. Don't worry about it. So, this will be the end of this video. I'll put another one up.